Most Shalom, Israel. This is Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Is covering for Officer Hazaha. We're running a bit behind. I'm Officer Badger 1000. Okay, well, today is Hebrew language, Lashawan Qadash. Okay. Now, first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna cover this word Lashawan. Lashawan in the Hebrew, okay, means tongue, right? No, means technically language. Well, let me keep everything sloppy. You need what's it called over here, one of those. I'm gonna talk to him about getting one of those for sure. Okay, Lashawan means language. Which comes from the word Lashan, which means tongue, right? So you have Lashawan, is how you write it in the English, in the Hebrew, in the ancient Lashawan, and it comes from Lashan, right? Lashan. You can just put it right there. Okay. Lashan. That's good. Okay, so you have Lashawan, it comes from Lashan. Okay, and then you have Qadash. Qadash, right? Qadash means holy, separate, or technically hollow, like all Hallows Eve. Hollow just means to be separate. Hollow just means to be holy. Okay, hollow and holy are the same thing. Holy is taught in the Christian church as something magical. Holy has nothing to do with magic. It has to do with separation. Okay, being separate. We speak the separate tongue. This is not a tongue for everybody. Everybody cannot understand these things. Everybody cannot understand the things that are said. Okay, people have access to our language, right, and still can't understand the scriptures. Okay, and it's important to understand these scriptures because understanding these scriptures will help you to understand. You can pull up things, right, with this. You can like pull something up, right?
Through the scriptures, that's why I didn't show.
Yeah, but could you pull up the internet?
I don't know. There's a.
Okay. And then you go to whatever you need to pick up.
Yeah, but I don't know. That's what I'm doing. I just go to these two right here.
Okay. Okay, because let me see. Because how would you see it for them to screen share?
Oh, I can screen share?
Yeah, that's what I mean, like, yeah. So they'll see your screen.
All right, this one, I go back to this.
Right? Okay, because I'm trying to show y'all something. Okay, so now they'll see whatever we see, right?
That's it.
Okay. Share. Screen. Okay. Home tab. Oh, new tab. Well, yeah, new tab. Sure. Okay, so now go to that. Oh, yeah.
Okay, I didn't put it up there. But right now, only we see it.
Only we see it. Okay, only we see it though. Okay, bear with us 1 second. Okay, they can see that though, right? Okay.
You want to take it?
No, you're good. Okay. Let a burn loop go to this. And there's a useful, damn. Where we just were. So, like, this is a useful tool, right? I'm looking for it.
It's coming up now.
Okay, most time address. And tools, right? Now, this is what I mean about the Hebrew. Okay, you have this word in H7197. Now, what I just did, this is an app called Blue Letter Bible. With this, since you can screen share, we're allowed certain other benefits. So what you're seeing on the screen is the Blue Letter Bible app. Now, why is this important about the shop? Now, they'll only be able to see this screen, right?
Yeah,
No, but if I opened up a different screen, they won't be able to see that?
No.
Okay. Baba Kushar, you got your sword?
Okay.
Get pull this, pull out Zephaniah 2:1.
Come.
Your calm. Now, what you're seeing right there, now I'm going to erase some of this, and we're going to get this, and we're going to get an understanding of what this is talking about, why it's important to have a better understanding of the Hebrew. Because without a good understanding of the Hebrew, you don't understand that what you see in English as one word or one definition is not the spirit or the true definition of what is being said there. Let me know when you got it.
I got it, sir.
Okay, read it.
Zephaniah chapter 2, verse 1. Gather yourself together. Yea, gather together, O nation not desired.
Okay, now, Mr. Officer 50, I need you to break that down.
Break it down.
Break it down like you're at camp.
Come.
Gather together, the whole thing.
Okay. Zephaniah chapter 2, verse 1. Gather yourself together. This is Zephaniah talking to the Israelites.
Right.
Let them know the Most High want us to gather together.
Right, keep going.
Ye, gather together. I mean, he's emphasizing to Israelites to gather together with their brothers and sisters.
Right.
They need to gather together.
Right.
Whole nation not desired.
Right.
The Israelite is not desired by the other nations. The other nations want to harm the Israelites.
Okay,
so
that's good.
We come together because we're breaking apart. We follow behind these evils.
Okay, right. Don't mind me. I'm just putting this on the board so everybody knows. He's in Zephaniah 2:1 right now. Read on.
Come. Verse 2. Before the decree brings forth, before the day pass, as the chef before.
Oh wait, that's verse 2. Now stop. What else can you give me about verse 1?
Verse 1.
Can you say anything else about verse 1?
Come.
Because there's more about verse 1.
Come.
And what is it?
More about it's telling our people to come together also in brotherhood, also in sisterhood. So we won't be so easily led, led astray and follow behind other people.
Yes, but no. Give me more. I'll give you one more shot.
One more shot?
One more shot. Well, there's something in there that lets you know and really gives you the spirit of that scripture. And gives you the spirit. It gives you both the spirit. Zephaniah 2:1 is a very underrated scripture. Right? Zephaniah 2:1 is very integral. Okay? Because it emphasizes and shows how bad of a state of our people. And it shows the spirit that we should have when we go on the street.
So you want me to give you the line of the spirit of the?
Yeah, give me the spirit of Zephaniah verse 1, 2:1.
2:1.
Right.
Spirit that come to him when he's saying, "O nation not desired."
No. Can't give you the one last chance. You probably won't get it, and that's the point. Probably more than likely you're not going to get this, and that's the point. You want me to give it to you?
Okay.
That means first, let's see if anyone online think they have an idea of it. We'll give them a few seconds. What do y'all think is the thing? Shalom, everybody. Just Sergeant Payne, Adrian Johnson, Yvette Roshan, Denisha Jones. What do y'all think is the thing that's going on? What is what exactly? What do y'all think is the the spirit behind this verse. I'll give y'all about 2 minutes, okay? So we have gather together, O nation not desire. Read that from the top.
Zephaniah chapter 2, verse 1.
Right.
Gather yourself together.
Right.
Ye, gather together, O nation not desire.
Okay. Keep going. That's the end of it?
Yeah,
Right, that's the end of it. So you want to try to give it another shot while we wait for them? Everybody online, try to give it a second. It's like 2 minutes, and then I'll give it to you. Keep going. Try again.
Gather yourself together.
Right. Meaning what?
He's talking to his people, and then tell them to come together.
But there's a spirit, and now this is the thing I'm trying to help you understand. You can beat your head against the wall, but you're probably not going to get this unless you truly understand Hebrew. Because you're reading gather. Gather does not computate or truly translate what he's actually saying. Gather is a horrible version to understand. Gather is incorrect. It's just the closest English word. Right? Now, that's the word you should be paying attention to. You're good. Yvette, Roshan, you're good. You don't have to, what's it called? Everybody's at their own level. This is just things that we do. We cover a lot, mostly beginner stuff usually, but I'm just covering for the moment to how it gets you, Miss Yvette. So what's called? You don't have to be ashamed. I'll go over the alphabet, which I normally do in the beginning of the class, since I know you, because I know a lot of times we have a lot of repeat students, so I didn't want to be repetitive. But since I see that you seem to be new, sis, I'll go over the alphabet real quick. But for now, go to the Zephaniah over here. Now click on this one. Right there. Now we're going to get a good understanding of this. This is Qashash, right? Qashash is a verb, a primitive root. Okay, now go down. What does this exactly mean though? To gather, assemble, collect, we follow with the mouse button. To gather, assemble, collect, gather, stubble, or sticks. Go down, to gather together, to gather stubble, to gather oneself together. Now use the Strong's definition. Okay. A primitive root to become sapless through drought, used only as a denominative from 7179 to forage or forage means now Baba Kasha. Open up another tab. I know they're not going to see it, but open up another tab. Hold up and look up forage real quick. Baba Kasha. Yeah, Con, you get one. Either one. Forage. I'm going to spell it for you. Forage. Con, I would spell it. Yeah, Con, right there. Forage. Go on. Give this brother a hand, Brother Bashar. This brother's a Hebrew Academy graduate, most high interest. Put definition. Yeah, right there. Con, forage. Go down. Of a person or animal, search widely for food or provisions. Bulky food such as grass or hay for horses, fire. A wide search over an area in order to obtain something, especially food or provisions. So what is this? This is a wide search. So God's not just saying to go gather, like gather everybody from outside. Everybody like outside the house is in a small contained place. They're all on the porch. But this is a wide search over an area in order to obtain something, especially food or provisions. Now we're starting to get a sense of this. we're starting to get a sense that he's saying this is a large search. But what type of search? What is this word you normally use for? Stubble and sticks, right? To gather stubble and sticks from an area. We had our Passover inside of a giant field. I know at some point before we got there, they had to go through and make sure it wasn't decrepit with any sticks, with any leaves. So they had to go and gather these things, right? Straw to forage for straw, stubble, or wood. Figuratively, to assemble, gather themselves together. Okay? Gather stubble. Okay? With the kids of. So what does this mean? So what is this talking about? What is this actually referring to? Okay? What is the gather or koshash actually referring to in Zephaniah 2:1? Koshash, right? Or make it a little smaller. Koshash hold on, let me make this a better looking W. Koshash, right? Now, that's koshash. Now, koshash really technically means to gather or collect sticks, leaves, stubble. Now, the main one I want y'all to understand is leaves. Okay? Understand that this verse, or the word koshash, in Zephaniah 2:1 means to gather leaves or to collect leaves. Why do I want you to think of it like this? Because you'll have an understanding of what the Most High means. You got the forage, right? You slide that up. Pull that again. The definition for forage. The second one. The second definition about koshash.
A wide search.
A wide search, like your mama's front yard, right? When she tells you to get there better not be a leaf on that lawn when I get home from work, right? No, so when you go out and with the rake, you have to do a what?
A wide search.
A wide search. That's what the Isupk is. We're good children. Our father has went away to work, and now it's our turn, our job to get all the leaves out of the lawn and put them in the bag. Okay, you got Zephaniah pulled up? Read Zephaniah 2:1.
Zephaniah chapter 2, verse 1. Gather yourself together.
Gather yourselves together. Commanding General Yohanan read these words and understood the true meaning of Zephaniah 2:1. He understood our people are lost like leaves around a porch, like leaves around somebody's front lawn. Okay, what does that mean? We're gathered, we're scattered like leaves around the porch. You got some of our people, a great majority of our people are in Christianity, yes. But because of the evils of Christianity, throughout the years, people have been able to see the evils that happen in that church and have left it. And have left it, but unfortunately, they've left it just to go from out the frying pan into a fire. Or out the frying pan into some boiling water. Okay? Now, the thing about it is, Islam is no better. You had shiesty men like Elijah Muhammad and Malcolm X who tried to teach you about an Arab religion. Knowing full well, Islam was not a black man's religion. Okay? And that's what they taught our people. Right? Qadash. Okay? He understood that our people were trapped like leaves. You got Tina Turner. Tina Turner want to go around saying yo ho, whatever the hell them goddamn Buddhists say. Okay? Tina Turner got her behind whipped so bad, she said, I am no longer a Christian. Right? And then she moved to Islam. No, to Buddhism. Okay? We have to get our people that think that they can half-starve themselves and reach a place of nirvana.
Right.
Like there is no nirvana. Here's nirvana, Negro, being out of slavery. The white man does not care about your nirvana. Now how the white man feels about East Indian culture? What's called? They tip over cows, which is a sacred animal to the East Indian. Okay? They could give two damns about the East Indian culture. So they definitely won't care about a black or Hispanic who thinks it's okay to practice East Indian culture. Okay? Y'all still a nigga in the speck if you practice East Indian culture or any of these ideas. Which is why our father said, read that from the top, Zephaniah.
Come. Zephaniah chapter 2, verse 1. Gather yourself together. Yea. Gather together, O nation not desired.
Gather yourselves together, O nation not desired. Okay, you good? Yeah. Okay, so now with that I pass the class over. Go. Slap it. Okay, so now, like I was saying, what's called leaves. Basically, so that's what this is basically talking about, and this is why it's important to know the Hebrew. Come on, please tell me. This is why it's important to know the Hebrew, because at the end of the day, if you don't understand things like this, you'll never truly understand the spirit behind the scriptures. Because you think he's just saying, yeah, let's all come together. But what he's really saying, by using this specific word, he's giving you the spirit of the task that's being put in front of you. I want you to gather this nation like you gather leaves in the field. Gather it like you gather sticks of wood. Like you're going out to set a fire and you have to gather wood. You're going to have to look everywhere. Some piece of wood won't be right. Some piece of wood might be too broken. Some piece of wood might be too wet. Some piece of wood might be too heavy for you to carry alone. But we all have to come together and gather that wood. Khan.
So you got the word of it, the word what?
Qadash.
Kashash. Shashash.
Qadash.
Come.
Qadash. Qua and then a shash.
Come.
Qadash, meaning to gather, collect sticks, leaves, stubble. Okay, and understanding that helps you to understand what's called the scriptures better. Understanding things like that. Now, you got the apocrypha on you, or well, we already covered that a few weeks ago, but matter of fact, give me matter of fact, pull up go back to this. Give me Micah, and why it's important. We're gonna stick on the stuff here, go. Why it's important to understand the scriptures. Give me Micah 3. Yeah, come. MIC. AH. Micah. So we'll do that twice. Yeah, come. Wait, go again. Yes, now that's scripture. This is why it's important to learn the Hebrew. Let me know you. Let's read through this real quick. Micah 4:1. Because this is okay, read this. Okay.
Micah chapter 4, verse 1. But in the last days it shall come to pass that the mountain of the house of the Most High shall be established.
Keep going.
In the top of the mountain.
Now, this isn't necessarily about learning the Hebrew. This is the second part about learning Hebrew. Paratazah. What is the second most important thing you must always remember when learning Hebrew?
The second important?
Second most important thing about knowing the Hebrew. The first is that Hebrew words don't always translate perfectly into English. like we showed with gather. Gather does not by itself do it. You'd have to give more of a description. But what is the second thing? And it even helps you to what's the second thing you need to know about knowing Hebrew? And it's important.
Like a true meaning of the word?
Yes, but where do you get the true meaning of a word? The true understanding of that word.
By the root of the word?
Yes, but there's a specific place you go to get all of that.
The dictionary.
No! The white man got dictionaries right now. You don't know the Bible at all. Where's that place that you go to know truth? Give us a hand. Only here when you find out the truth. And why is that important? Read that from the top.
Micah chapter 4 verse 1. But in the last days it shall come to pass that the mountain of the house of the Most High shall be established.
What is the mountain of the house of the Most High? I'll give it to you for time's sake. Yeah, come. I'll give it to you for time's sake. The Israelite School of the Universal Practical Knowledge. But what is it actually, and why is it important to learn your Hebrew in here? We know how it was spoken, and we know what it means. Mountain is not a mountain. A mountain is the government. Okay? The government of the Most High, which is the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. What, you want the other one?
Yeah, I want to write the spread on it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Now, what's it called? Okay, is the government of the Most High. And it'll be established on top of all governments, right? We will be the world superpower in that day when you read, I believe it's Isaiah, the 9th chapter, under Christ. Keep going. Yeah, Isaiah 9 and 6. Keep going.
And in the top of the mountain, and it shall be exalted above the hills, and people shall follow unto it.
No, flow unto it.
Flow unto it.
People are just going to run towards our capital in the day of Christ. Keep going.
Verse 2. And many nations shall come and say.
What?
And many nations shall come and say.
This is the last days after Armageddon, after Christ has destroyed the armies of the earth. Okay? And basically your options are basically serve Christ or be killed by him. And that's in the Bible. Luke 19 and 27. Keep going. I'm about to
Come and let us go up to the mountain of the Most High.
Right? Okay, so now they're saying these other nations, right, when they're given the choice, worship Jesus or die, because that is the choice in the future. Worship Jesus or die. Continue.
And to the house of the power.
Now, what do they say? Come. You read on.
And he will teach us.
No, start from come and say come.
Say come and let us go up to the mountain of the Most High.
They're going to have to come to the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, the government of Christ, right? And they're going to say this isn't going to be a happy thing. Christians try to tell you like this is happy. This is somber. Like, come on, we lost. There's no more Chinese army. We thought we were doing something by attacking Ukraine, and it led to World War III, and now we would have to be the slaves of black men. That's not going to be happy. Keep going.
Oh, come. And to the house of the power of Jacob.
And to the house of the power of Jacob. Keep going.
And he will teach us of his ways.
Teach us what?
His ways.
Of what?
His ways.
Of what?
Of his ways.
Right. So meaning what? That heathen's going to learn how to say, fetch me water in Hebrew. How do you say that?
No clues. Get me water. Give me water.
Give me water. Like, come. You'll have to learn how to say, give me water. Give me bread. Pick faster.
Give me water. Let's try that. Let's try give me water.
John, sir.
Pick faster. How is it faster?
How do you say? You're the book man, so.
We're gonna try to use brother's names.
Right.
That we know a person's name is.
Break.
Break.
Right.
Break through.
Break through. Right.
Right. So paratiza
Right.
means breakthrough.
Right.
So all things where you have to break, this doesn't mean break now.
Right.
This means breakthrough.
Right.
All right. So all things pertaining to trying to break through a rock,
Right.
break through a mountain,
Right.
break. You don't want to break the tree. You want to break through a tree.
Right.
You go look for the word
Paratiza.
paratiza. His name means breakthrough.
Right.
Your name is Ibadia.
Right.
Key part of the word is Ibad.
Right.
Right, which means to serve.
Slack it with the da.
Stuck it, my bad.
Yeah, try.
Where's the joint right here?
Yeah, right there.
Okay. Ibad, right?
Right.
Ibad. Serve.
Right.
All right, Ibad is serve. You had a brother who was once in here. His name was called Swift Warrior.
Right.
Who was that?
Mahalo.
What does Mahar mean?
Mahal means swift, right?
Mahar means swift.
Right.
Right? What's another word in English for swift? What does swift
Fast.
mean? Fast.
Right.
Right? Fast. Right? So Mahar is fast. So you want to look for the word Mahar? You want to look for the word fast?
Right.
You got to do what I just did when you have nothing. Remember the brothers that were with you?
Right.
Their names.
Right.
And put their names back in here.
Right.
Right? I don't know the word for a castle or stronghold.
Right.
But then we do have Captain Tazar's name, who is?
Castle Stronghold.
Castle Stronghold.
Right.
Right? So Captain Tazarya, or the word Tazarya, the ink is dying.
Yeah, Tom. And there it is.
Yeah, let me get that.
Yeah, Tom.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go up.
I don't know what.
Right. Tazaryak. Right? The word Tazaryak, which is not a blended word from what I understand.
Right.
It could be because there's a yarn there, that's a text.
Yeah, Tom.
Right? We got a concordance right here?
Yeah,
Yeah, look at the word Tazarak to see if there's a word Tazarak. Right? But Tazaryak in itself means stronghold or castle.
Right.
Stronghold.
Right.
Right? Stronghold is like a castle. What's a proper word? What's a modern way to say castle? Because we don't have castles today. Because the Israelites built castles. And the Israelites are now American. So now castles are not a fort. A fort, you can see like a fort or a defense base. Right? So that's an American way to think of the name. You know, a defense base.
Right.
A defense base. You know what I mean? A fort, a defense base, I don't know, not a compound. A compound could be anything.
Yeah, compound.
Right, but we get the idea. You know what I mean? Who's next on the end? Captain
A bunker. Well, a bunker. Well, yeah.
A bunker. This is not the word for now. But I get what you're saying.
Yeah, Tom.
You know what I mean? Captain Shamawala, right? Shum. His name is based after the word Shum. We know that Shum is name. Right? Who's after him? Captain Katazar. Right? Katazar means arrow. Right? And none of these names are a mistake. Kataz. What am I thinking E for? I'm thinking of going to English, right?
So,
right? Katazar.
Yeah,
Tazarak. We're trying to find this word without the tense.
a weapon for the wall.
That's what Tazarak says?
No, Tom. No, I was thinking about Katazar.
Katazar means arrow.
But breaking it down.
Breaking it down.
Weapon for the wall.
Ka is a fence or a wall.
And Taza would be a
And
weapon.
And Taza means side, right?
Right. Oh, I thought Taza was weapon. What is that?
Za is weapon.
Za is weapon. Okay.
Za, I know. It looks like the thing up here.
Yeah, right.
Za is a weapon. That's different, right? Taza is side. This hits the side of the wall.
God.
I'm just saying. Could be. Might not be exactly. Might go over the wall.
Right.
Not sure, right? There's no real definition as to why, each, thing is made the way it is. But like our body says in here, we have the spirit of the truth. Right? If you go to another Israelite group or church or a random Israelite on Facebook, he's not going to give you this same kind of explanation because we're not in the same spirit, we're not in the same accord. But in here, you will find brothers that might say something similar to what I'm saying. You know what I mean?
6878.
6878, what does it say?
Tazarak, from an unused root, meaning to need.
To lead?
Need, N-E-E-D, like I need you. Pause.
Okay, what up? Is there another definition? That's all it is?
Yeah, that's all they have. Then after that, 6877 is Tazaryak in the sense of clearness of a vision, a citadel, a high place, or a hold.
A citadel, a high place, or a hold.
That's Tazaryak.
Right. Okay. Now that's the past. Yah means, you see Yah in the middle of a word. That means past tense.
Salaki,
Right. Go ahead.
To the brothers and sisters.
Not to say that this is.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. Go
on. If I'm in need or if I'm in some type of danger, I need a citadel. I need protection. Like, or if I may.
Or you need it.
Right. If I may, remember we were mainly shepherds, and so we're nothing but field land until we got Jerusalem, and then we can really build a capital. And he had the scripture says he built up the city. So like if you watch like anything like old like shows like Merlin and all that, there's a citadel. A citadel is really the city itself. It's all walled in, and it's like imagine DC. It's like the capital itself where Congress and all that is. Yeah. It's like probably like 125th to 135th, and it's like all gated off, and you can't get there unless you like have permission and all that. It's like a gated community. It's more than just somebody's house. Yeah. So that's more than what it is. It's a need to be protected.
I could absolutely understand where you're coming from, and I believe what you're saying.
Come.
All right. Well, you said Tazarak is need, right?
Right. Come.
Okay. Tazarak is need. Let's remember that. Parat is up.
Okay, so Salaki, for the brothers and sisters that's watching, is it better now? Can you please give me a 1 that you can see the words?
Okay, you couldn't see the words. Okay.
Yeah, I think the camera's too far back.
I'm gonna double check Tazarak on my
on your thing.
Actually,
yeah. Please do it, right?
Yeah, I looked on my phone too, so.
Okay, no slip, right? Tazarak is need, right? Besides your need, you have your wants. Kasar is want. Kasar means want. Right? What are the important words we have? Katazar means arrow.
Right.
That brother lives up to his name, meaning you're a target. Right? You could do things and have arguments where you try to not be attacked by the Isupk, right? Captain Katazar, he sees you and spots all your weaknesses and strikes there, right? Right? Captain Katazar is a man. You go into a debate with Captain Katazar, he's like a man that pulls an arrow back, and all you are is a bunch of targets, and he hits you here, and he hits you there, and he hits you there, and he hits you there, right? That brother, and when it hits the target, right? What's the video game sound? The video game sound, ding, 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 ding.
Okay.
Right? Captain Katazar is a man like that. He hits points.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
If I'm there.
He destroys it like it's a game. You know what I mean? Go ahead.
Okay, so I got it. Basically need, but I have a scripture that it's used in, and it gives I think it gives better context.
Okay.
2 Chronicles 2:16, and we will cut wood out of Lebanon as much as thou shalt need. So Tazarak would be about in a point or a requirement. Like as much as you shall need is like.
What have you used?
This is the strong concordance.
Strong stuff. So it only comes up once.
Yeah, it only comes up to one time.
But that's not Tazarak with a CH. That's a Tazarak with a K.
Oh, come.
Yeah, that's not what I wanted. I wanted the one with the car like Tazaryak.
Oh, come.
Right, Tazarak. So that makes a lot of sense. Right.
Right, come.
That makes a lot of sense. All right. Tazarak with the K means need. right? We want to see there's a Tazarok with the ka,
With a car, yeah.
right?
Yeah, I'm not seeing
To
one.
see if there's a tense in here, or sometimes, as you know,
Sometimes it does change.
there's
Right?
blended words.
Right.
There's blended words. Tazar in itself means a rock, right?
Tazar means rock.
Tazar means rock. As you know, tug of war. We know tug of war, right?
Con.
Tug of war. Tug of war is the name of Peter,
Right.
right? Peter, huh?
So how do we find that out? Like, so I can use it to what's it called?
Okay, in the Greek,
Right.
right? The Tazar is always written as a PT, and the P is always silent. You have names like Ptolemy,
Right.
right? You have names like Ptolemy,
I'm familiar.
right? Sometimes they'll write the word rock as PTAR, right? Or sometimes I think they put an O here, right? But that ends up being tug of war. Tug of war is the name of Peter. All right. So now, if you take the you turn this right here, PT, then you're left with Qatar, right? Or Petros. Petros is the proper word for it, right? But that PET right here, right?
Right.
That PET is the same. They don't say the P.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? The PET is together in Greek. All right? And Petros is the word for rock. Right? And rock in Hebrew.
So it should really be Teeter.
It shouldn't be Teeter. It should be Tazawar. Right? It should be Tazawar.
So no, but how did they pronounce it?
How did they pronounce it? I'm not sure how they pronounced it. Right? Tar? I'm not sure. Right? But now it's in the concordance.
Yeah.
Look up Petros. See if you can see Petros in here. Right? Or go to the Greek section, look for rock. Right? But I know Tazawar is the word for rock in Hebrew. Peter means rock. Right? Also, you got a Zanavid right there, Pertazar, right? Look up the word for Peter.
Peter?
Yeah, in the Zanavid, right? Peter. All right. You got the disciples' names. That's a good thing to go to. I want to get all the New York brothers' names. All right. And then we can go through random brothers' names in the school. I wanted to get the body parts. All right. I did not want to forget the body parts. Okay. We start that Captain Zakar. Zakar means remember.
Okay.
All right, Zakar. All right, remember. All right. Remember, if you see a wa in the middle of a word, it means ing. To how you perceive that in English, if it's in the middle of a word, right? Like word like shalawam, word like shawamar, word like shawamai. By the way, shalawam is not a greeting, all right?
Right.
Wa in the middle of a word is ing. Ya in the middle of a word is like saying ed, right? Past tense in the middle of a word, right? That's how I was coming to the thing with Tazar Yak here. But then you got Tazar, which is like rock. I don't know what Yak would mean. Okay? Going down the ranks. But also Koraya Allah, where Kora'ah means call. Call. Who's next? Kawagabar, right? Kawal means pain, right? Coming from the word hal, all right? Without just taking out the tense out of the word here, right? So if I take out the tense here, which is what we should always be trying to do, you take out the tense because y in the middle is like ing, right? And you just take the y out, and it'll just be left with hal. All right, pain. Sticking behind it is gabar. The name is Kawar, Kabar is the word for warrior. Right, warrior. All right, this ink is running out, so. Let me try some more. Kabar. All right. We should store the inks with the tops down, right? So at least the ink is not running down to the bottom of it. And now they over here, can't be used. Or what have you. With something like Q. He's a man in Hebrew. Right? Or what have you. Right? Gabar, who's next? Me, right? Za'ab. Right? Za'ab, this is the proper way to say what the defining of the name is, which is wolf. Okay? Of course, my name is written a little different for pronunciation's sake, but you'll see that almost everywhere. You know what I mean? When it comes to names, David is an example. His name is beloved because you read in Chronicles, beloved with the past tense ed, beloved. They take it out. You see what I'm saying? So his name is Dawad or Dawada, right? Right. But then to write his name as beloved, they put the Yah in there in Chronicles because his name means beloved. All right? Because Yah in the middle is past tense, so they write Dawayad in Chronicles. Francis, go ahead.
So we have
questions?
Yeah, we have a question about.
Hold it. Let me finish the by who?
About Marshmallow Ayash.
Okay, let me hear it.
Khan. So there we go. Salaki, sir.
Who's after me?
How do I say Christian in the Hebrew barbershop?
You're right. They are called servants of Baal.
Oh, well, I was going to say.
Oh, what are you going to say?
Wait, is he talking about actual Christians or?
Christians.
Like,
he's talking about actual Christians who are Christians.
Okay, got it.
Right, he called them servants of Baal.
Y'all actually left that one up? It's probably in the scripture somewhere.
Right, so servants of Baal. Go to servants of Baal, find the scripture, and then we're going to go to it in the Tanakh and see what's there. Right? Christians. Right? It's for Christians. Go ahead, President.
And so I have Peter.
You have Peter, go ahead.
All right, it says, here we go, the most prominent of the 12 disciples.
Mm-hmm. Why? Because when Christ died, right, Peter took the stead. Well, we didn't take the stead. He was given the stead, right?
Okay.
He was given the seat of after Christ. Meaning when Yahweh left, right, the work fell on him, like how the work fell on Commander Jehan. Right. Now Commander Jehan is not Peter. That's not what I'm saying, right? But you can look at how when Yahweh left, there was still a leader in charge of the nation, even though Christ got taken up into the sky and is still alive. Yahweh Jesus Christ, he died and resurrected because he could come back to life, because the Lord, because he paid his debt to the Most High by dying. Oh, Tuar, yeah, we got a sunkish right there, right? That joint right there, the pineapple joint. Yeah. Oh, you water, Biblical shot. Yeah, he smart, wiser brother than me. I'm about to go get myself soda and start choking. You know what I mean? God.
Very interesting, actually. Oh, you erased my name already.
No, we're about to go back up there because we need the word servant.
Okay,
Yes, Thor.
No, because I couldn't find it. Interestingly enough, they didn't have that exact phrase, servants of Baal. But what I did find was worshipers of Baal.
Mm-hmm. What's the scripture?
2 Kings 10 and 19. And it comes up again, I believe, 10 and 23 as well.
Okay.
You ready for it?
Hold on, 2 Kings. Oh, you got the Hebrew there?
Yeah, I already got it.
Let me get there with you. 2 Kings what?
10 and 19.
10 and 19.
It's the end of the verse.
It's the end of the verse. Okay, go on.
You ready?
Read one. Ready?
Ibadia,
Ibadia, which means
Sorry.
Ibadia, which means Ibad meaning serve or servant. right? Ha Ba'al,
Right.
right? Which is servant of Baal.
Right.
All right, which is good.
So like, can I get an understanding then, just to make sure I know Yah, the proper usage of Yah in the plural? Is it only descriptive or
It's not saying plural. It's not. Don't think of it as plural. Think of it as. I see why you're saying plural, right? But think of it as. What's the country before America started, man? Think of Nigeria.
Right. Land of niggas.
Nigeria. What's the other country with IA at the end of it? In India.
Yeah, Khan.
India. Persia. Right, Persia.
Right.
I'm
drawing a blank. Elite. Oh wait, no.
What's the
elite about?
Germania.
Yeah, right. Prussia, Russia.
Germania. Prussia, Russia. I want some more real names. We got names like North. I don't know where this is. Northumbria. Right. Let's think of the huh?
I was gonna say something.
Russia. Right. Russians don't call themselves Russian. They call themselves Ruski.
Do they really?
Yeah, Ruski. That's what they call themselves.
I thought that was a joke.
Russia and Prussia, right? The at each of the end of them, is ya. It's the same thing, right? So if you the Persians in Hebrew is paras, right? It's the same thing with the P and R here, right? And the P and R here, right here, and the S is here in Hebrew. Paras. I don't know what paras means. I think it's not of a Hebrew origin, right?
Right.
But to say a Persian, you would say parasia.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
But how do you differentiate? How would you differentiate? Well, you'd have to put a mod to make it. Because when
to make it what?
Because
to make it a plural.
Yeah, Khan.
Don't think of plurals. Think of man and country.
Khan, because I thought Yah by itself could mean I.
Like mine, like a possessive. But we're not talking about possessive. We're talking about man, country.
What do you, if you could.
Right. So in ISUPK,
right,
we are the nation.
Right.
Right. Every nation has a constitution.
Right.
Right. Our constitution is that we don't sleep with heathens. We don't marry heathens.
Right.
Right. We can have more than one wife. Now, another country like America, you can only have one wife. Or another country like IUIC, you can only have one wife. Another country like China, you can only have one wife and you can only have 2 children.
Right.
You see what I mean? There's different rules to different countries or to different states. What's the name? In the Zondervan, the guy who put the end to the Jewish state.
Yeah, right.
Right? He put an end to our whole country that has our constitution.
Right.
Right? But ISUPK is bringing that back.
Right.
IUIC got a different constitution. Name the groups. House of David got a different constitution.
Right.
House of David's constitution is they gather together behind your back.
Right.
And leave out of the house without letting you know.
Right.
That's how they are. They are people of secret hatred. You see what I'm saying? Leave Commander Hana, leave all the brothers that they want to leave. All the brothers that eventually became, that left and eventually became, what's his name? The Candy Kings.
Yeah,
right? So they gathered and divided the school and left out. You see what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Today still doing the same thing. Have an Israelite summit, don't invite Commander Hana, don't invite the UPK.
Right.
Having a cookout, having whatever. They don't invite the UPK.
Well, do they even have cookouts?
They had something. I know they going into the park with the bushes with the tents.
Do they really?
For the tabernacles, right? I know they believe that Passover has to be in Israel. Some of them, I don't know if all of them believe that, but I've heard some House of David brothers say that the Passover has to be in Jerusalem. Right?
Okay,
that's not in the Bible, but that is their belief. That's their constitution. That's the rules of their country, their world. But in this world, we don't believe in that. We believe in what the scriptures say word for word, after its true interpretation, after the spirit of the Lord. You know what I mean? Where some brothers just got the letter and don't understand the letter. All right? Go ahead, Brother.
Oh, no, Slovakia. So I was just saying, we don't get, ISUPK don't get invited to anything, but all the other Israelite, so you know what I'm saying, so-called Israelite groups, they know they're invited to all our events.
God.
They know it.
Absolutely, they do, because we tell them all Israelite groups come to our cookout. The cookout, the ISUPK cookouts, the purpose for it, whether you know or don't know, right? The purpose for the ISUPK cookouts was not really for the ISUPK. It was for other Israelite groups to get together with us and sit down and have a burger, regardless of doctrine. Maybe if you want to debate a doctrine, you could, but it was a place where, for this one day, we was not going to debate doctrine or nothing like that. We was going to come and get familiar with each other as brothers that believe we're Israelites.
That's right.
Right? That's how the cookout started in 2014 in New York. You know what I mean? But then still they don't come because their spirit is none of brotherhood. And it just became, the purpose was for brotherhood, right? Within our race, within Israelites. But then it became just a place for us to just have brotherhood because the other brothers will not come to join in with brotherhood. All right? So now instead of other Israelite groups who refused to come, it became for brothers from Chicago and California and Texas to come to have extended brotherhood with us.
That's
who's
right.
far away. I mean, and hey, we don't tell you, right? I don't know what to tell you. All right? Okay? So service of Baal. Okay, service of Baal. We have Ibad, Yah, Ha, Baal, right? Baal, right? Ibadia Ha Baal. Okay?
Sounds funny. Because it sounds like something vile, as in something disgusting.
It is disgusting.
No, because if I may, Babel.
Yeah, Babel is like Babylon.
Right.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, it can, because it could be that where the origin is.
But this is how you say service of Baal,
Right.
worshippers of Baal. Anything you worship, you serve.
Right.
You know what I mean? We worship the Most High, we serve the Most High.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Okay. And we have a leader, just like how the true worshippers, they follow Peter after Christ left. We follow Commander Yohana after Peter, you know what I mean? After the rank going down, right? There were 7 heads, brought the truth back with a straight up blatant sign that this was the gathering again, right? And it fell on Commander Yohana the same way how when Yahushua left, it fell on Peter.
Amen.
All right? And Commander Yohana is not Peter, right?
If I may, sir.
Yeah.
I just want to bring this out, like I said earlier, Manager Yohana is the only one who put these scriptures, and understood the true spirit of them. Like Manager Yohana and the 7 heads truly understood.
Commander Yohana was taught. The spirit was taught the true understanding.
Right? Like what's called, what I mean to say is he understood what it means to say, yo, you serve Satan. You are in the Christian church, you may not realize it, but yeah, you serve Satan.
Absolutely right. And that goes deep because now Satan do has an agenda out here. He do have his ways and his religion, right? Right? And his ways and religion is spread out everywhere. It's literally when Christ said, wide is the path to destruction, right? No problem, right? I want to keep moving though, right? Okay? Okay. Hazahab, Shalah Yala. Right? Shalah means beheld, if I'm not mistaken. Beheld. I'm not sure what beheld means. We need a look into beheld, right? Can the AC turn on or is the heat on it? I need AC, man. Let me try something real quick. Okay. There's another word I like too. Shalak. I learned this when I was a young man in General Kabbalah's class. Shalak. Shalak means to send. Right? This is one of the common verbs he had on the worksheet. Shalak. You think of that, buddy?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Okay, we got Shalak right here.
Shalal. Oh yeah, shalal is to behold, I believe. No, it can also mean to request, right?
Is it request?
Yeah, I believe it's requested. Requested of the power. If I may.
I think that's right.
If I may, remember, the funny thing is, the Yonkers camp is named after the sons of Judah. Perez and Shalah. So whatever Shalah's name is.
So find Shalah for me.
Count on console. 1 second.
Okay. We got one that says to be tranquil, secure, successful. We got another one with a different definition. To draw out, to remove, at rest. Shalah request. The name of, if I'm going to put a request, I have to put I see it right here, request, shortened for 7596. And request, okay, so it's Sha'ala. Okay. It's a shortened way of saying it was a name. I need to write this one down. Okay, I need to write this one down. Okay. We got Shala.
Yeah, Khan, 7956.
Shortened for Sha'ala.
The same as 7596, shortened. Yeah,
right. What's the other one? 79 what?
I got 7956.
7956. And what's the other one say?
Same as 7596.
7596. There we go. Wow.
The name of Pas Diluvian.
Right. So Shalah is shortened from Sha'ala.
Sha'ala, yeah, Khan.
Right. We know what Sha'al is. Sha'al is demand.
Sha'ala is what?
Demand.
Demand, right.
Demand or ask.
Right.
So Sha'al, okay, we read the root first. Sha'al is to demand, right, or ask, right? Demand or ask, they mean the same thing. I'm gonna put ask,
right,
because they mean the same thing. I don't want to. What I find with brothers that learn Hebrew,
right?
If I give them more than one English word, they forget both of them.
What do you mean?
Meaning, if I say demand or ask to you, you don't remember demand or ask because you got mixed up learning 2 English words.
Right.
So what I do is I put ask. Because you always want to ask a question. Ask is the more common English word.
Right.
Right? Sha'al is ask. We have sha'ala. Sha'ala, which is request. Right? Okay. Who's on the Shalah, y'all? Karab?
No, you meant rank order.
I thought I was thinking about Shalah.
Yeah, Cap. Who's behind Shalah, y'all? Cap, you. Oh, that's right.
Oh no.
I'm gonna write your name on again.
Richard.
Oh, God. Well, Karab. Right, Karab. Where's the bond falling in this? A bond falling in here.
A bond's 5,000, right?
Yeah. Karab means sword.
So he'd be under Yakan.
Karab means sword. To be honest, right? Karab means sword. Right here, the ink running out again. Ra means sword. Abad. Oh my gosh, nothing in here. Garbage. Oh, yes, right. Yeah, let me try one. I don't know why I ain't gonna consider that. But we want to test those. Yeah, we want to test those. Maybe later, right? But we do want to test those, all right? Karabi sword, Abad. Oh, they got a dead one in the new pack. Maybe somebody made a mistake and put these back in there. Something that brother should not do.
That's what it blew on.
Okay, still out there. That's why I don't play ball. Okay. We got a bond. I know the green is funny. Green don't pick up on the camera all the time. Right? A bond is stones, right?
Right.
Stone. Right? Talarak is need. I want to leave that on the board so I can see it and so I can remember it. Right?
Sir.
You can't see it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. How do I say remember it?
Oh, that's what I wanted to ask you.
Yeah.
Would that be Zakara?
Zakara.
That's Tawab?
That's Tawab.
So, Tawab was good, right?
Tawab is good.
No, Tawab what?
Tawab, it's good. Yeah. God, Tawab, yeah.
Okay.
Aban.
So I can tell a sister Khan Aqua Tawab. Like if she makes some food.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or you say your food is good. Or your food be good. Or you could say your food good.
Salakia, kashar is meat or food or both?
Huh?
Kashar.
Kashar? Kashar. I'm not sure. I know if you look for food, it's always going to say akal. Akal means eat. Akal means food.
Okay, come.
Okay. Aban means stone. We can see that though, right? On there, right?
That's perfect.
That's good, right? Zakar, what? Remember it. Zakar what? Right? Remember it. Right? What at the end of a word could either mean he or it. Zakar what? Remember it. Okay? I want it. How do I say I want it?
Akasarwa.
Say it again.
Akasarwa.
Okay, let me write. I want it. Okay, can you see the parentheses on there? Say it again about him.
Kasar.
Khasar.
Wa.
Khasar. Wa. Good. Right? Good. Khasar wa. How do I say we need it? Go on,
The bread is looking smudgy at the
It's
bottom.
looking smudgy at the bottom. Oh, let me see how the color
It could be
computer.
at
Let me see
the
it. So this is not your resolution? Yeah, your resolution is 240. Okay, let me see if I put it to 480 right quick. Okay. Okay. It's a little better than that, right? Yeah. Let me put it back down.
Oh, no, keep it like that.
It's up to you. It uses more data, so it depends on your plan.
Oh, okay.
Right, 480 uses more data, right? Okay. Okay, so. Okay. We need it. We need it. Right? So of course, before we get there, Akasarwa, right? When you're writing Hebrew,
Right.
is a preposition.
Right.
Right? So you write it together.
Right.
And you write it all together. Right? Ha. Right? Sar. Right? Ha, sar. And then wa. Right? You write it with no spaces in between it. This is how you read Hebrew on Saturdays. Right? You identify the preposition. right? Then when you do that, you can dissect it from the rest of the word. You see that this is a preposition? Ka is not a preposition, so this must be the word, right? How many words in the root word? 2 or 3, right? So you count 1, 2, 3 before the end, right? Ha, sar, that's a word. Is wa a possessive? Wa is a possessive, right?
Okay.
And that's how you calculate as you go along as you read it. A kasarwa. I want it. Okay? Good. Now, we need it, right? Before we say we need it, I want to find if there's a more, there has to be a more, the Tazarach is used once, right? We want the more common word to say need, right? So we need to look up need right now. Look up need, right? Because we ain't going to be reading Tazarach for need, and then there's another word which comes 1,000 times, 200 times, every other sentence. You need to go here. You need to go there. You must do this, and you need to do that. And then the actual word is there for need, and we're reading in the Sabbath service, and we're reading them, and we don't know that that's the word need. And the whole time on the Sabbath service, we're wondering, what's that word? What's that word? We could have learned the word now, right? Instead of this, that we're only going to see down the line down in Ezekiel where we're not at on the Sabbath service. We need to learn the word now. Say it again.
Makasar.
Makasar, which means kasar. Kasar is want.
From one.
So it's something pertaining to a want.
Yes, sir.
All right, Makasar. You sure how many times did that come up here?
49.
49 times as?
Makasar.
As in English.
Okay, 49. Oh, 1 second.
Makasar.
1 8 times. Lack 1 time. Need 1 time.
Need, so that's only need 1 time.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yeah.
Need. Necessity is not in the King James, right?
No, I don't think so. Hold on.
Okay.
Necessity. Necessity is, yeah.
It is?
It's a Greek, though.
It's Greek. He will need be a judge. Okay, hold on. We have, well, this is Shapat. Shapat is judge.
Necessary comes up once in Job. Necessities only Greek.
Need. Okay. Need, bring, need, be gone, need, what needeth it? Let me see.
Kasar.
Go on.
Well, I got Kasar. It's used as need once. It's either usually
Or maybe,
Kasar or Makasar.
right? So maybe there's no difference between need and want in Hebrew, right? Makes sense. We are princes. We're not supposed to need or want anything, right? If we want something, we want it because we want it. You know what I mean? Go ahead on, brothers.
Oh, so like, we have a question right here by Joanne Estella.
Okay.
Yeah, she said, Shalom. She said, Shalom. How will you say my name is?
Go on about it.
Shamia.
Shamia. Okay. Good. Right. So my name. I know in Hebrew we don't say is. Right. You just say my name and then your name. Just like in Spanish. You wouldn't say me llamo es, you just say me llamo Azaha, me llamo Joanna, me llamo tu amo Abadia, right? If it's tu amo, right? Tu amo?
Tu amo.
Tu amo. I'm
Te
not
amo.
sure. Te amo Abadia.
Sí.
Te amo, see, it's a C, right? Te amo Fratiza, right? You wouldn't say te amo es, right? You would say my name, right? Name is Sham, right? Sham, and then Ya is to say my, right? My is Ya. Shamya Hazaha. Shamka Abadia. Shamwa Pratiza, right? Shamaha, her name. Ha comes from, her comes from ha, right? Shamha, Joanne, right? By the way, that's Hamania.
Huh?
Hamania, that's just our YouTube name. Okay.
Yeah, I know that was.
Come on, no sweat.
Okay,
so let me write them down. Shamwa, Shamha. All right.
Salakia.
So Shamwa, one.
I have a question. When do you know which plural version to use for which time?
Need an example of what you mean.
Shamwa
Shamwas.
is the plural for names.
Shamwas, you sure about that?
That's what they use in Exodus, Ireland, Shamwa.
Okay, so where we go?
Names.
You go to the scripture,
right,
and get the example.
Right.
Then we look at the King James Version, and so we can create a comparison to see if we can see why they did that, and look for other instances as a second or third witness as to that instance, and then we can make a conclusion based on those 2 and 3 witnesses in the scriptures. All right? Shamya. Huh?
I got the first one.
Okay. Shamwa. You got the first one.
Okay.
Read it.
This is Exodus 1:1. Wa'ala Shamwa Banya Yasharala Ba'alyam Matazar Yama.
Okay, so start from the top again. Just the part where it says Shamwa and the word after.
Okay. Wa'ala Shamwa Banya Yasharala.
Wa'ala and these. Allah is these.
Right.
Wa'ala, Shamwa, names.
Banya Yasharala.
Banya, meaning sons of Israel, right? Okay. Hold on. My name. Yeah, and we always see that the name with the Banya, we're gonna have to just write Yah as of too.
Right.
Because we always see it there. And even though that Yah is a possessive to say mine or I, right? But we cannot ignore the fact that everywhere you go where the word of is, right?
Right.
You know, the Yah behind it. So we are gonna have to be observing that Yah at the end of words being of. All right.
When do we use Shah?
Shah, I don't know. More often never than most times.
Okay.
Shah means of too.
Right.
Right. But you don't often see that. So, like I said again, you have to look for instances where that is used.
Right.
So you can learn to what instances you should say. All right? Is that now? No, that's a bit researching it. You know what I mean? So you got to do it in your own time, and Lord willing, maybe next week we try to look up the word shall and when to use shall, when to use man. Man means of too, right? I went over man last time with General Kubalamov, right? I'm gonna teach that next, as a matter of fact. Right? Name. Your name, his name, her name, her name. Okay, my name, Shamya. Your name, Shamka. His name, Shamwa. Her name, Shamha. Why? Because my equals Yah at the end of a word. Your equals Ka at the end of a word. His equals Wa at the end of the word. Her is Ha at the end of a word. Okay? Right? And don't never forget the possessives. These are what you call possessives. My toy, my possession. Your toy, your possession. His phone, his possession. Her bag, her possession. All right? Possessives. Okay? So it's very, very important that you learn these possessives. It is one of the most important things there is to learn in Hebrew, to read and understand it. Okay? We got the Christians here, Ibadia Habayal. Ibadia Habayal. So if I lean over to Ibadia is servant of the Lord, and I say, yo, Ibadia. Allah, Ibadia Habayal. These, or Ibadia Haya. Oh, no. How you say again? These, right? These is Allah. Allah, right? Allah Haya Ibadia Habayal. Now I'm chatting some Hebrew, Batman. Right? Allah Haya Ibadia Habayal. These be Christians. These be servants of Baal. And I'm gonna say to Abadia, you know what I mean, when there's Christians around, when there's Muslims around, when there's fake Israelites around, Allah Haya Ibadi Habayal. Let me write that out as a matter of fact. I know brothers will ask me later. How do you say the thing again? Salaki, sir, I wish you would have wrote it down, you know what I mean? I was trying to get that we were saying. Let me write it down right now.
Salaki.
Yeah.
I think I found the 3 instances. The other 2 are a little what's called, but if I'm not mistaken, I understand how those work.
Okay. Let me write Allah, right? To say these, right? These, and then Haya, right? Haya means Haya. Oh, look. Haya means feed, right? The 2 jumbled up. Right? How look online?
What?
To say Allah Haya. Or do I gotta write it up?
You have to write it up.
I have to write it up. Okay, no sweat. Okay, I want to say these are Christians. Right? That's all I want to say. These are, so we got to serve up for our, right? We know that Christians are servants of Baal.
Come.
Okay? So I want to say these are, R and B is the same thing in Hebrew, right? R, B is same thing in Hebrew, right?
If I may.
Yeah.
The examples I'm seeing, a lot of them don't even use Haya.
They don't. Right? But I'm saying this because your English tongue and your English mind, you know, needs this to fix sentence, because this is how sentence structures is in your mind. Right? So for the brothers who need it, who's gonna in their mind are not gonna be able to connect the dots without this English supplication of thinking, you're gonna need to put R and is and B. That's why I just to ask, how do we say my name is?
Right.
And I'd explain why. I'd explain that we don't say is. You see what I'm saying? I'd explain it because your mind is gonna say, how do you say is?
Right.
All right?
If I may.
Yeah.
It's very funny because people have to, like, you're saying this and I understand why you're saying this because I don't suffer from these things. And the reason for it is not necessarily just something about me. It's the fact that, like, this is how we talk. Like, these Christians.
Or them Christians, man.
Yeah, them Christians. Or I think we were just saying something earlier. Like, we don't, like, we'll leave out, like, my name Keith. Salam, my name Abaji.
Yeah, that's like the patois.
Right.
And the white man gonna say,
Yeah,
you don't know proper English.
Yeah, Con, if I may.
I mean, you must have never went to school, huh?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? When this was our way.
Right.
This was the most advanced way. Through this is where you read about stories of Jesus Christ.
Right.
The greatest man that ever walked the face of the earth.
Right.
And all of the great empires behind this culture, right? King David and Solomon, you gotta read about thousands of years later. You know what I mean?
Right. But my thing about it is, like, I remember they belittled Trayvon Martin's girlfriend because of her testimony, because her English. First off, it's a goddamn 17, 18-year-old. Mm-hmm. And you're making her relive probably the worst night of her young life.
I want to stay focused on, right?
Concept. But it just shows, like, y'all say something about our English. And the reason I'm bringing it up is because they had to go back and say they have to retrain stenographers on how to speak Black American English. Like, something I realized recently, we have our own sign language. Mm-hmm. Like, I never even knew that. We were so, disenfranchised, we had to teach ourselves our own sign language because Esau won't teach us his.
sale, right?
Con.
There's no more questions online, Prentice, all right?
Con. And I got the pieces of proof.
Who?
I got the Shamwa. Con. So the first one we got, well, they're both basically the same one. This is Genesis, the 25th chapter.
Okay. Learn that from me and you. Brothers online ain't ready for that yet.
All right, Con.
Yeah, brothers online gotta just learn Sham. They gotta learn Shamya, Shamka, Shamwa, Shamha.
Okay.
All right? You don't confuse a new student, pack everything into his mind.
Right.
There's levels.
Okay.
So let them learn level 1 and level 2.
Okay.
And level Shamwaf is like level 10, level 8, level
Okay.
7. That's intermediate level.
Okay.
All right, so just baby steps right now, right?
Yeah,
As you see, I'm not writing on Hebrew on the board.
Right.
I'm not writing Hebrew characters on the board.
Right.
I just want them to get Sham. Say it in English. I mean,
could you go over your lock and Ba'a? So I can get that. Because I know, to my knowledge, I've seen Ba'a used as both go and come. And in past tense when.
it depends on context. Yalak means go. Right? Yalak means go. You go to the corner store. Arabic language is born out of Hebrew.
Right.
Right? And you hear the Arabs think it's funky all the time. Yalla, yalla, yalla. Yalla, yalla. Yalla, yalla. Right? And they're not gonna say Ba'a.
Right.
Right? Because their way of saying come is yalla, yalla, yalla. Right? Ba'a means come.
Yeah, if I may, I notice a lot of times their words like they'll have a lot of some, like I think their eight is different. How they do eight is a bit different.
Yeah, what?
Their eight.
The number 8?
Yeah, the number.
Talata.
That's how they say it.
Yeah, Talata. Their numbers is similar.
Yeah, I think that's the only one that's different.
It's called a cardinal language. It's the same syllables.
Okay.
So we look at remember now, when it comes to us and getting our culture back, even when you go to like a museum, you have to extract the heathen influence, right? And retain the salt. Think of it as we are the salt of the earth.
Right.
Salt is mixed in the juice. You have to evaporate all of that liquid that they try to pour on us. We were carried away by the flood. We have to get the flood out and retain the salt. The salt was the secret ingredient to the taste.
Right.
Right? We are the flavor in this thing.
Right.
All right. So get the water out, get all the lies out, and then you can find what is yours. All right. You can find what is ours. All right. Okay. Okay. Your luck is go, but ours come. Okay. There's something I wanted to do. Let me just do the body parts now before I get lost. I keep getting lost.
Yeah, Con.
I just had the.
Con. So your lockers go for eyes, Con.
You got Passover council today?
Passover council.
You got a council today?
I don't believe so, do we? Do we have council? Well, sure. We don't have council, right?
I know it's council for Shamor on Sunday.
Okay, yeah, then that's not us.
Okay, I got a law ring for you. Might be for last week.
Yeah, Con. I don't know if we got council.
Okay. Body parts. Head. Head is Ra'ash. Ra'ash. Under your head is you need your face too, right? Your face.
Right.
Face is Pan. Neck. Neck is Taza. Wa'ar.
So,
What's next?
Salakia.
Mhm.
On is Ba, right?
Say again.
On.
On.
O-N.
On is back.
Okay.
Salakia, salak.
So,
Salak means forgive.
Right.
Salak means forgive.
Right. How do you say enemy again?
Enemy is awaya.
Awayab.
When you see Awayab,
I thought there was a Taza one too, but okay, that's
I'm writing like this because in the prayers, this is what you're gonna hear. Awayab Yakar.
Awayab.
Right? So of course, this has the tense in there. I don't think it's Awayab and stuff like that. It's like Ayab or something like that.
Okay.
Ayab. Right? But I'm writing Awayab so you know when you hear the prayer, this is enemy. Awayab.
Okay.
Enemy.
So Ba Taza Wa'ar.
So now the prayers. Awayab Yakar. Awayab. Awayab Yakar. Right? Come on. Body, come on, be work with me, all right?
Sir.
It's your car. The car is your enemy, right?
Right.
Let me write it in a way where everybody will understand. Awayab ya car. Right? This car right here is saying your. Right? Of course, when do you put the yard in? The yard is just a signal to say possessive. All right. It's often a buffer. Awayab ka is hard to say. Meaning what? There's something in our culture where we try to make things easier to say because the language is rough. So we have buffers, right? Awayab yaka, your enemy. Right? And of course, this is a prayer in our Psalms 83, right? One of the favorite prayers, which is a prayer against the Lord's enemies. All right? The Lord's enemies. Right? God got enemies in the Bible. And all of his enemies are people that don't want to be dominated and ruled by him. So you look at them and say, oh, they're just people living their own life. They're living their own life because they rebelled against God. That's why God's going to bring the COVID and punish everybody because they are God's enemies. And they prove, and here's the Christians make me sick, man. You know what I mean? Christians look at us in our position beneath everyone and say, this is okay. God should hate all the other nations because of how they consumed us on a daily basis today. And they look at it as everything is okay, we're living their regular, normal life. He got a house, I got a house, even though he owns it and I'm renting, right? Everyone, there seems to be peace because there's not, everyone's that fighting each other physically in person, right? But, of course, there's injustice on your side, but there's always justice on their side. Injustice for us, right? We don't see the bigger picture that this is the remainder. This is the calm after the storm for us to be in this situation here, right? And this is the person's fault to think that everything is fine and dandy when it's not. And God is smarter than you. No problem. The ISUPK was brought by the Most High in Christ to bring the wisdom back to your eyes. All right. Front is up.
We have another question by Joanne Estina.
Okay.
Yeah, she said, how about the 5 W's? Who, what, when, and where?
Yeah, that's another topic for another day, right? Depending on what time is it now?
It's 10 minutes here, 2 minutes in now. So.
Okay. Well, if we have time after these body parts, which we might have, we'll go over that, right? Just remind me to put this up, please. All right?
Okay.
Trust is za kwa, right? And make sure when you're saying this Q here, make sure you make a Q sound. Don't make the sound like a K because this is not a K. If you wanted a K sound, we would put a K here. You see what I'm saying? This sound is not Kazakh. It's Kazakh. All right? Make sure you say the Q sound, all right? Okay? We have your belly. All right, belly. All right? Give me a second. I believe it was Shakam. I'm gonna check it though. Shakam. Oh, belly is Batan. batan. Okay? Ba, tan is belly. They both begin with B. Right? Belly. We want, what's next? Is there a groin in there? Let me see if I can look for the word groin right quick. Right, to say hip. Not there. Hip. Hip is gonna give me all of the words hip and all kind of other hips. Right? Okay, we're gonna miss our hips for now. Side, you got your side, right? John of the thorn in this side. Tazayard. I don't want to say Tazayard right now. Lying down in the tent, Tazad, lying side door. No, I don't want to do it right now. Belly, batan. Then we have your thigh. I believe thigh is shakam. Thigh is shakam. Right? And foot. Foot is ragal. All right. Let me see if anyone online can read that here. All right. If it's clear to everybody online. All right. Okay.
Sorry if I may.
Yeah.
Any brothers and sisters can read the last word for foot. Ragal.
Thigh is not. You miss out shoulder. Good, nice. Right. Thigh is your rock. Your rock.
Be close to one, Salaki.
Thigh is your rock. Salaki, your rock. Right. Neck, chest. Let's see if we can make some room between neck and chest.
I got one.
You got what?
Piece of body part.
Okay, say it.
Iquab.
Iquab. Okay, what is that?
The heel.
Heel?
Yeah, come.
Okay. Neck. What's neck again?
Taza War. Can I get an understanding of Yah in that instance? On the word Iquab.
Heel. A hustler comes up from you, meaning you don't know where you got hit from.
Well, if I may, the exact translation.
Hold on.
Okay.
Neck, shoulder. Shoulder is shaka. Okay, and then we have chest. Chest is kazakwa. Say with the chest meaning, say it's stronger than that.
Right.
Kazak also means strong because the language, I believe you made the states earlier, right? Our language is formed of thinking of something,
right,
and having this as a symbol,
right,
for something else. So a man with a big chest, that is a symbolizing a man who is strong.
Right.
So now the word strong is Kazakh.
Right.
All right.
Because if I may,
That's true.
Because me personally, I always notice before your arms get bigger, if you're doing push-ups or doing that upper body work, you're gonna see it more so in your chest area before you even see it in the arms.
Got it. Great. Chest, belly, thigh, foot. Okay, now the W's. You start with what?
Oh, okay.
Right. What is ma in Hebrew? Ma in Chinese.
Is it really?
Ma in a lot of languages cut. What is ma? What's the other one? Why is Madawai? No, let's before we get to mother why.
Technically the
Who, what,
when, where, yeah, and why. So who would be how? Za?
who would be Za? What's that again? Za is this.
Yeah, but I've seen who also uses this, but I don't know. Za also uses this who, but I'm not sure. That's what's called.
Who is Maya?
Maya.
Maya. Right? So let me write that right quick. What? Who?
Oh, that makes sense. A lot good.
Maya. Who is Maya? It's a good one to know. Maya is always, when you see Maya, is always who. When you read it in the scripture by itself, Maya is always who. That's a good one to learn. Right? Where is Aya? Go on about it.
Nah, I was thinking about Ma, pertaining to behold.
Hold on. Behold is Aya. Aya, right? Aya is
Or the letter
where?
Ha, What is what? Pertaining to behold.
Hold on. Don't lose my thought about it. Okay. Where is Aya? Okay. I don't want to lose anywhere else. All right. The when and the why, we're gonna do that for another day. Right. Oh, when. Okay, let's do when too.
Okay.
When is no? Let's not do when. Or should we do when?
Really?
No, let's not do when. I want brothers to focus on a small amount of things,
okay,
so they can remember it.
Right.
Because I teach too much or make things too complex.
Right.
Right. Give them the whole thing in one day. They don't remember it.
Right.
Right. So we got to take steps.
Right.
We got 2 minutes left. Brothers up.
Joanne have one more question. She said leg. What is the Hebrew word for leg?
The Hebrew word for leg is thigh, yarak. Remember, see, exactly what I'm talking about. Certain terms hit better, all right? And you want to focus on that term.
If I may.
So maybe thigh was the wrong term for me to use, right? Thigh. Right, so let me put leg. Yeah, body.
I just wanted to, what's called, something we're done with. Also, you didn't put yad, because I was going to break that.
Yad for hands?
Yeah, can't.
Yeah,
this is a.
I ain't put.
I was going to do the whole.
Do it.
Yeah, for those who don't know, this symbol may look familiar right now. This is actually where the letter Yah in the Hebrew comes from. The letter Yah is the symbol of a hand. This is the Hebrew hand. Just like the Hebrew thigh is also the Hebrew leg, right? The Hebrew hand isn't just, in English, this is what you think of when you see a hand. But in Hebrew, this is a hand. And it also, if I may, it might have something to do with a cubit, because I remember General Hyman explained a cubit biblically is
going too deep.
Concept.
So you're going to lose people.
Yeah,
so explain that and then just focus their thought on that. Don't think of you pouring out knowledge.
Right, Con.
Right? Don't think of you. Think of the person that you're talking to.
Con.
This is new to him.
Right.
He can't retain a lot.
Right.
Or if you give him a lot, he'll forget it. So give him something to remember.
Right.
Right? I just had belly, right?
Right.
Belly. Baton. Okay. We have Zarwai. Right? Because we're talking about arms. We're talking about arms and hands. Right? Let's get arm. Let's get hand. And then we're going to get leg. Okay? Arm is Zara Y.
Like the brother in Philly.
The brother in Philly, coming from the root word Zarai, which is seed. I don't know if it's related to the word seed. I'm not sure, but
okay, but it's Zarai
is seed.
Okay.
Zarai is arm.
Right.
Hand is yad.
Right.
And we had leg as Yarak.
Right.
All right.
Alright.
Try to fit it all in there. I know it's a long list, I know. Right, but go over there and this will help somebody. Shoulders, the shoulders of Christ is the 144,000.
Right.
Right, the shoulders of the government,
Right.
right? Christ, the term that's used in Isaiah. Right, we got neck. Okay. Is there anything else, brothers on? You sure?
So
Go up and down right quick. Go on about it.
I wanted to put something on the board and see if I translate. If I said this.
I want everything to stay on the board.
Okay, so let me just.
You can say it though.
Okay. Akasar Yayan
You want
Babatanya.
in your belly. You want wine in your belly.
Okay, come on. I said that right?
You said it right. I could interpret what you were saying.
Right, come.
That's communication. That's language. That's what we need. Right? That was a sentence.
Come.
And I could interpret what you were saying. That's very good. That's very good for the school.
If I may, is there a preposition for our or us?
Not that I know of. You
Like in the front of the word.
You just say anaknao.
Okay, come.
Space.
Right.
And then the word.
Okay.
Yeah. So anaknao is a word of itself, like anya.
Right.
Or ata.
Right.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Shamna.
Hawa'a to say his, or haya'a to say her.
Come.
Brothers up.
Yeah, throughout for me, strolling down, so, excuse me.
Yeah, because they gonna curse me on afterwards on Facebook Messenger.
Oh, right.
Can you please?
You didn't answer my question. We don't like me or something?
Can you
Wow.
please
Okay,
write,
they don't say that.
write bigger,
Right bigger, Salaki, y'all. Salaki.
please? Yeah, please. Thank you.
Yeah. Let's see if you can get.
No, it's lock. I thought that was the word. No, it's okay. We can see it, but I thought they asking for you to write in Hebrew.
They want the word big or bigger.
Yeah, but it was.
They want to say how to say big in Hebrew.
Oh no, I was reading it
No.
wrong. That's what I thought they were saying, but actually,
But they just want to see it larger print.
They want to see a larger print.
Yeah, but
Salaki, y'all.
earlier when I pushed it up, it was good. It was okay with that.
Okay, so that was earlier. Okay, no problem, right?
Come.
The word big in Hebrew is gadal.
Right.
You
Salaki.
got Captain Gadal Har. Captain Gadal Har. Who know what Har means?
Har means mountain.
Most High in Christ. Har means mountain. Gadal Har, big mountain.
Right.
Har mountain it also means government. Right? So we have an idea of what a hill is. Maybe the brother gathered on the hill. They do it in every Marvel Comics thing.
What?
Right? They had the Black Panther and all of the other leaders of the Wakanda nations
Right.
go up on the mountain on the hill,
Right.
and the government will be there.
Right.
And they got the civilians down below
Right.
talking about how you're going to rule the land and sketch out what's going on here and there.
Right.
And then you come down from the hill,
Right.
right? The hill is where the government is at. All right? The hill is where the people who are in the government go up there, talk. They do it today on Capitol Hill. I don't know, what's the other hills? What's the Capitol Hill? In Greece, they'll go to Olympus Mount and Mount Olympus. And on Mount Olympus, in their fairy tale world, right? The gods will be talking about how they govern. Zeus will be talking to the other bitch.
Right.
What's the other
Hera.
Huh? Hera.
That's his wife, yeah.
Oh, his wife.
Yakan Hera.
So his wife is in the government too?
Yakan is wife, the queen of the gods.
Good, nice. It's just a mess.
Right.
And they would do that on Olympus Mount and govern Greece, I guess, right? On all that garbage, right? Mount this, mount that, right?
So, Mashamka.
Masham, your name?
Mashamka.
Masham, come. What's your name? What's your name? Or of your name? What your name is?
Maya Malaka.
Who's your king? Yahweh Shai is my king.
Which Mashamka.
Masham, come. Who's your king?
Maya Malakam. Mashamka.
Maya, say who? Maya Shalom come.
No, Maya Malakam.
Malak is king.
Right. Or would it be Malak Yakum?
Who's your king? Malakam, Malakikam. It could be both,
Right.
depending on the tongue. If you need the yard to make the buffer because it's too hard to say, you put the yard there.
Right.
So it's easier for you to say Malakam, Malakikam. Malakikam, Malakikam. Who's your king?
Because what's the king?
Or Malakam.
Right.
Who kings?
Right.
Right, or something like that, right? Or who's their king? Malakham.
Right, Khan.
Malak Yaham. Their king. Right?
Salakia, how do you say fear? What's fear?
Fear is Yara'ah.
Yara. So my would we want to say da and put da somewhere in there or not? No, so it'd be just
That would mean do.
who yeah, so yeah, you probably wouldn't have to. So it'd be my Yara Aika. Who fear you? Who do you fear?
Who do you fear? You wouldn't say they do. That's just English.
Yeah, Khan. So that's
do for us.
Right.
Do means you're actually doing something.
Khan.
Right? Who do you fear? That's just dumb English. Just there for no goddamn
Yeah,
reason.
Khan. I don't think
Just dumb as
Spanish
hell.
does it either.
Yeah, it's just dumb. English is a dumb language.
Yeah, very.
It's just dumb and stupid. And that's what everybody says the hardest to learn because they got things in there that you don't need to say.
Like knife.
You know what I mean?
Right.
You know what I mean?
So
who you fear?
Yara come.
No, Yara.
Come.
Maya,
Yara come.
Say cup, or you trying to say y'all plural.
Yeah, because if I made the plural.
Who do you fear?
Yeah, come, because it'd be because I'm trying to do put the cadence. Yeah, come.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah, come.
You know what I mean? Someone was saying that the other day, kept in the car with that in the Hebrew.
Okay.
Maybe you could do that.
Okay, come.
There you go. He said something like that. Put it with the brothers. You in the chat, right?
I remember I'm only 1,000, so I wouldn't be like with the
in the last.
Lashawan. Oh, I didn't know this. I didn't know. I didn't know. Yeah, he's in it. No, I didn't know. Captain the kind of asked for that, but I'm good.
Yeah, he asked us, and we put it in the group to do that.
All right.
And I guess we didn't manage to do it, but you got this year for it. You should do it.
Okay, Con, I'll get
You
it.
should text it to me as soon as you can.
Okay, Con, okay.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
So it's who do we fear? What's your name?
Who do we fear? It's different.
Right. Who do we fear?
Or,
Wait, is it who do you fear or who do we fear?
Yeah, I think it's who do you fear?
Who do you fear? Yeah, so
Con. Asking the question.
Con, sir. Who do you fear? The father, Con.
But we should put it in the proper context and put the comma to say y'all.
Con.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ha'aba Yarana. The father we fear.
The father we fear. Yarana.
Yarana.
Ha'aba Yarana.
Con.
That's a bit next level. I don't know if brothers is ready for that worldwide.
It's a tongue twister.
We need more practice. We might be jumping the gun a little bit, but we should do it anyway.
Yeah, Con, I'm gonna have it done. Yeah, Con.
Do it. We should stutter and we should get it after
right.
Yeah, it'll be good because that is
right.
That's like
Imagine
Hebrew Academy is the only way you're gonna get that drilled in you.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? That might be class in 2024.
Right.
And probably the major council, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And with that, I'll pass the class to Officer about 500. That was 50. Of the 50 brothers up. Right?
Up for the class.
No, it's okay. I got it. Yeah. You go in front of the camera.
All right. We're going to give one courtesy to salute. Man Israel, Amaju.
I see you, Shatar Banatha, right? Most time correct. What's up?
Man Israel, Amaju Shabbat. Amaju. Barak. Yahweh Hashem Yahshua Rakatam. Yahweh Class dismissed.